you know, depending on which position they're actually going to be playing, I feel like they'll have had time to adapt to that ping to really overcome it and still be a viable source. Otherwise, I really don't think they'd be playing in such a high-profile match.
Yeah, well, Menethil is a very good archer though, and I think archer is probably the best class to play with higher ping. Infantry with the ping, you know, you get that delay, and in my opinion, it's a lot harder to fight with higher ping as an infantry.
Yeah, absolutely. To me, it was always Cav was the easiest to high ping, and then archery in the last melee. Some people may experience something different though. But yeah, I agree. Chewbacca's ping is definitely bouncing around a little bit, so hopefully that's not a huge factor tonight.
Well, I believe WK said they are ready, so we should be getting underway soon. Not sure who's calling for KoB. Thought it would be John, but John doesn't appear to be in, so perhaps we'll find out.
Looking at that, and this is kind of the thing that that group right there, you know, a main caller can definitely help, but just a good communication with that group of players amongst themselves can be definitely potent.
Well, Laporta doesn't have a mic. So
Oh,
I mean, it's never really played into Laporta's game too much. But I feel like that does kind of, I mean, as an infantry, you usually are with the rest of the infantry, so missing a call won't be that big. But it could play in, maybe.
It's definitely hard to type cav behind when there's a cav behind.
Yeah. Well, WK ready, and we're about to be live on Reese, so we're about to get underway.
Awesome, I look forward to it.
I think it's going to be a great match. Alright.
Hopefully we haven't hyped it too much and it's a really bad match.
I don't think it'll be bad.
Yeah, me either.
I've just been informed that Can will be calling for KoB.
Well, that I mean that definitely works. Can's got the knowledge, I think.
It looks like WK will be running. Oh, is this Vinny on infantry, not a cav? And it looks like WK is actually going to go right through the tunnel. They're actually going straight for them. This is a very aggressive play right here from WK. And it looks like KoB is trying to get into position to defend from this, but a lot of infantry on the side of WK, and I think they may win this fight. But here they go, they begin. Oodle is first in the fight. Throwing some hits on Zappa. Oh, that's a nice shot. PBK gets it as well, though. Menethil in a nice position actually right here. The stables are defending him from the infantry. It's going to be a long way, but Oodle is actually closing in on him right now. Oodle and Vinny, but Troubadour gets first blood on Aura. Well done. But it looks like this fight is still relatively even, but it is. Oh, KoB seems to be getting the better of it. Calamity actually goes down. Troubadour picks up a second kill. Fidel, nice shot on Goliath. Chewbacca, well done. Beer gets the Porta, and WK turns this around from the early depths that they fell out to. Quickly done, and it's only Chewbacca and Can left. It looks like WK probably will take this one. Chewbacca just getting backed up. His shield's done. He's about to die. Not much left he can do. Maybe he takes one down. Oh, but lag throw TK's Beer. That won't let him upgrade, but... So what'd you think of that round?
That was the epitome of the one flaw in this map. The map is very dynamic, but that tunnel right in the middle for competitive play, both teams starting that close, what you saw there was WK just rushed through, and KoB was not prepared for it. They were still spawning in, they were still trying to figure out which way they were going to go, and WK capitalized on that.
Well, KoB is definitely ready this time. They've already made it to the... Well, I'm not really sure, but you know, right under the stairs by the bridge, and they're going to go for this flag spawn by the balcony. This is probably the strongest spot on this map to hold. And it looks like WK was initially going through the tunnels, but it looks like they're going to come back around and go to the center of the map. We're right on the flag spawn. This is also another nice spot to hold, and it's relatively close to the other flag spawns, so I feel this is the best, probably the best spot for WK to take up right now.
Yeah, you can see KoB is kind of dug in back there. They're just trying to get some intel right now, figure out where WK is, and trying to figure out where to position from there.
I feel like WK may try and split. If the flag spawn is where KoB is, WK will send PPK, Vinny, and Wiley straight to him. And how do you think this will work? A split in that position? Like the position that KoB has held right now?
It can be a good move. If if KoB recognizes that, they can actually push one of the smaller groups, the group that shows up first, and try and get the advantage in the fight. But if it doesn't pan out for them, then that's going to leave their flank, their rear flank exposed. So it's definitely a risk if WK does split, but KoB could take advantage of it.
Well, it looks like WK gets the flags here, so they will not have to split. Now, KoB's offensive plan, what do you think it will be here? What do you think would be best, actually?
They're coming up center. I really think they're just kind of going to move in and see what's happening. Looks like they're going to push in, which with everyone grouped like that and the time that's left, that's kind of a smart move instead of trying to flank people around and get them picked off one by the Cav. I think it's going to come down to a big melee right here with the Cav supporting.
Looks like it's about to begin. Porta is on the front lines right here. But, not too bad. Ruin. Oh, but Calamity goes down quick. A nice drop from Can, but Oodle takes out Garen as well. But I think taking out the cavalry is quite a big deal. It looks like the fight begin. Burn fighting with Oodle. Goliath goes down. Troubadour. Oodle goes down. Nice shot from Chewbacca. Porta goes down. Aura goes down. WK taking the advantage of this fight early. Vinny with a nice kill. WK just seems to be getting the better of KoB in these fights very early. Troubadour another kill. Gets Menethil down. That's only Can and Perurin. But Perurin actually managed to take out Lag's throw. Can goes down. It's only Perurin left. So what do you think WK did really right there?
Yeah, that's just really the infantry. That's the infantry being able to hold their own in the 1-by-1. KoB has the advantage with the archers. They can shoot a lot faster. And WK's Lagster actually got pushed out of position. But it really just came down to them being able to take care of business in melee.
Well, WK seems to be loving this strategy, go right to tunnels. I feel it's quite good, actually. It's been working well. Either they catch them right in their spawn, or they get a nice position after it, so... But KoB actually is scared of this. They constantly try to get out of spawn as fast as they can now. WK is giving them a sense of urgency.
Yeah, they were still doing swaps, and WK was, like, knocking at the door, ready to attack, so...
Oh, Menethil with 500 ping, actually. That's pretty bad. Probably it's too late to sub now, but...
welcome to Warband? Nah, I'm just kidding.
Well, I feel this is practically one down for KoB here.
So if I'm KoB, I'm trying to stall this out and hoping that ping goes back down so I can get my player back.
I mean, KoB is taking that position once again. This position is probably the easiest to defend when played right. But yeah, just hope for Menethil to get that ping back down.
Yeah, get the ping down. You know, right now they got a 50-50 chance on a flag spawn, so that kind of works in their favor. I think it's a smart move to go to this position again, especially with, you know, trying to overcome the dominant force that WK has been shown in melee.
You can see that Goliath is actually sitting right in there with them. Can is the one who's going out to try and get information. I feel that KoB is really defend, but in this case, WK will get the better of the flag here. I believe they will be able to get this one faster, and they will get the high ground position, most likely. And I feel the high ground position is a lot better for the crossbows. It's a lot easier to defend from Cav, so I feel once again KoB has the pressure on them.
Yeah, there's definitely cover there with the 90 degree. They can high one around the back. KoB did a great job of pushing up quick and trying to make that engagement before WK can get dug in.
They are in there quickly, and Aura will be starting the fight with Oodle. Oodle and Troubadour kind of caught in a bad position right here, surrounded by 3 of them, but these guys are good fighters, and they probably will be able to fight their way out of this. But Wiley has come in to help them, and now it's a 3v4, but a nice hit from Aura and a nice bump from the Cav. Troubadour goes down in this fight. Wiley goes down. Vinny, Porta, oh, actually TK's Aura. Vinny trying to get him for the kill, but the Cavalry can. Nice kill on Oodle. And it seems KoB is getting the better of this fight early. Calamity, nice kill on Burn. Goliath takes out Vinny. PPK gets cans. The Cavalry's down, actually, for KoB, I believe. No, Goliath is still left. Goliath's actually coming out. I think he may be able to help them, but Porta gets beer there. It seems KoB got the better of PPK this time. Oh, but actually, PPK managed to get Goliath, so Goliath won't be able to upgrade.
Yeah, I didn't want to say anything because PPK was still up, and I could see something crazy happen. I think that TK almost killed KoB there, but they were able to keep their focus and just focus up and keep going. I think the Cav really won that round for KoB.
Well, I think this is also pretty big for KoB though, because the Swadian armor is easy to upgrade. One win, and you can probably upgrade to the Hovergun, and that's pretty good armor. But in this case, for KoB to win that and take away that 2-0, they lose their upgrades for the most part, and some of the KoB members can actually upgrade their own gears. So
absolutely, try and get the economy working for you.
And I think in this case, KoB will have the advantage with the position they've taken. They do have the 50-50 chance to get the flag, but I feel once again though, if WK is actually going to go aggressive here, and they're going to try and push a nice shot from Lagstro. But it looks like they will just be trying to take shots at each other. Chewbacca returning fire, but I feel it's just a bit too dangerous against the crossbow, and especially Lagstro.
That was actually an intel mistake right there. The KAV wasn't scouting WK properly, and KoB wasn't ready. I don't think they even realized they had pushed up that close.
Well, it looks like I think WK is going to get the better of this with I feel like KoB is looking kind of scattered right now. They don't look really too prepared for this push if WK does push in. You have Garen just kind of standing a bit further out. I mean, it's not far for him to go back in, but one shot, who knows? Yeah,
they got the ace up the sleeve with Minthril up top. That could definitely be a game changer, and they did get the flag spawn.
Menthil and Chewbacca are actually staying back up there. I think WK is going to push, and they're going to stick against the wall, which is good. The archers will not be able to support. Oodle's going to initiate first. Fight begins. Garen goes down. Oodle, well done. First blood. See, this is right here where the WK infantry just pulls out. Vinny actually went to KAV now. Well done. Can takes out Kratos, though. Vinny goes down. Can takes out Vinny as well. Oodle gets a Porta. Oodle and Perun fighting, but Fedor is coming to support him. Trooper went for the KAV there. Beard lands a hit on the hand. Perun goes down, and Can's about to go down as well. It's Chewbacca, Goliath, and Menethil. Chewbacca and Menethil are both stuck with hands. Only Chewbacca left, and Oodle gets how many kills out? I couldn't even count. That was 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Just well done from WK there.
If there were a textbook, that was absolutely textbook. WK hugged that wall. They took the archer and the KAV out of play. The KAV had no room to circulate through there. It was just a single charge, and then they stopped against the wall. That was beautiful.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like that's really right there where WK's infantry strength will just surpass most clans. Because right there, that was just pretty much a sheer infantry versus infantry, and WK just steamrolled them.
And I feel that Cal didn't even call that. That was just game sense. They knew to hug that wall. They knew the dangers that were surrounding them, and they just knew that was the proper thing to do. I don't think they even called, hey, hug the wall when you make this push.
Yeah, it's just the game sense. They're all a bunch of great players. I feel KoB did pretty much all they could. Can was doing great. He got picked up 2 kills. He got both KAV out for WK, but there's not much more he can do. The Imps got to pull their weight as well.
Which that's a really good score for someone who's calling. To call and be able to perform is definitely one of the greatest, hardest talents to get in this game, and I think Can did really well there.
Can did well. I feel maybe if I was KoB, I wouldn't have backed behind the stairs to let the WK infantry get up there. Should have tried to stand your ground better, because once the infantry gets up to the archers are probably done.
Yep, pretty much. And they had Chewbacca up there trying to keep it. I think you had it right with they just really weren't prepared for it. They were kind of out of sorts, and really I think that came to that early scouting. I think they missed the early scouting, got caught out of position, and then WK did an awesome push against that wall.
Yeah, it would have been dangerous to try and get one of the archers to switch over then at that point when Lax was just staring them down. You try to switch him over, he gets hit, gets headshot, he's out of the game, then you're already down 1, and then WK just pushes into you. But WK played that perfectly.
So if you're KoB right now, what you got to look at is we're going to lose our ability to, we're going to lose the how fast we can shoot. So we're going to be going to crossbows. Do we want to try and bang infantry and rely on the armor that we can get with Swadian? Are we going to add a couple of KAV? Are we going to spread out a little bit more and try and get some angles going? It's really going to be how they're going to adjust to a different faction that's going to determine whether they're going to do any better in this second half.
Win. It's I feel it's very important for KoB to get that first win. Because if they don't, then the Vagers are upgrading, you're not upgrading, you have to win another round to try and upgrade. It just becomes a mess in my opinion.
It can definitely be difficult, especially with as fast as Vigor armor can go up. But it's not overcomable. Any good team is going to be placed in a situation where they're in a hole. Okay, yeah, they just got wiped one set. They have to reset their mind. They have to get past that bad set and say, okay, here we go into this next one. It's going to be different. Here's how we're going to make it different.
I think Menetho will be sitting this time. The high ping definitely not helping them. Perhaps somebody else will be able to replace him. Not that Menetho wasn't performing, but ping was hard to deal with.
Yeah, by the time WK actually pushed him into melee, it was pretty much over with this caliber of infantry that they're facing.
The WK infantry is also coordinating very well with each other. I feel the KoB infantry is kind of getting each other's way, whereas the WK infantry are just, they're playing very well together. But I feel if KoB gets off to that good start, they take it. If Vigors or WK keeps it, gets that first win, may be more difficult for Swadia or the KoB to get back into it.
That's kind of a risk you take when you trade someone out. It's a, you're changing the dynamic a little bit, so you can be bringing someone in that can save you, or someone in that just completely is not in that mindset. They weren't ready. Maybe they didn't warm up enough, or they got a little cold while they were sitting there. So hopefully the trade works out for them. I'm not saying trades are bad, but it can definitely go either way.
Menethil just relaunched Warband, so he may actually be coming back, but I feel if Menethil doesn't come back, I feel John will play, as he also plays Archer, and he's not bad by any means. It looks like Menethil's ping has settled down to a 159, which is playable with Archer, I'd say.
So this is great. I want to talk to whoever, fixed so many problems in these later tournaments. No duels, getting right to the point. This is amazing. Stream starting on time. Good job to whoever is coordinating all this and fixing all these all those old issues.
Yeah, Warband's evolving. Esport.
Thunder's like, what are you talking about? Sorry, man. I'm an old school.
Oh, I know what you mean, duels.
Back in my day, we thought about duels.
No, I remember duels. We'd always have Tito dueling, and then he'd pull out the one-hander, and then everyone would yell at him in TeamSpeak for using a one-hander.
One-hander best sword.
Said he liked the speed of it better.
It's the only dueling weapon, in my opinion. It's the true test.
And then you gotta pick the maps, and then everyone complains whenever you picked into account your faction, and everyone's like, oh my god, it's just the faction's fault. Now it's just, you can't blame the factions, right? I mean, it's randomized, the maps are randomized.
I think that's really great. I think what it does is it takes a team and it forces them out of their comfort zone, and it makes them decide whether they're going to become better or not. Because they're probably going to get something that they're good at, and probably something that they could work on. So I really like set factions, set maps. Plus, it gives me time to think about it. I always like to go into a match, having some idea of what I want to do. And if I have to guess what map they're going to choose or what faction they're going to choose, sometimes I can use that to, my advantage. I could surprise my opponent, come up with an off-the-wall map, off-the-wall faction. But I'd much rather be prepared mentally for what I'm going to be facing as opposed to trying to come up with stuff on the fly. So I think that's all really positive changes.
Yeah, I agree. I really like it because, typically, Swadia and Vigors, if we were still doing the dueling system, you would choose these factions on open map. Sometimes you choose Swadia against the North just to, cancel that out on the open map. But stuff like this, it makes, I feel in this case, calling does help. Strategies will help a lot more than just having the good players. And just, player decision-making in those fights. Like WK displayed right there, just sticking against the wall and pushing those KoB infantry back just to get up those archers quickly. That's just player decision-making, and they did that well.
Yeah, it's player decision-making. It's also knowing the game, knowing the ins and outs, knowing, the economy of the different factions, the strength and weaknesses, and trying to play that as well with what you got. That's where versatile players really come into play. Just like you saw Vinny switch up from infantry to cav. Vinny's one of those players that can pretty much do anything you ask him. So having that depth in your lineup is what makes different factions or factions that you don't get to choose that much easier, because you don't have to worry about whether someone's going to be able to fill that gap. You know that you got it covered.
Yeah, it's not like you have to worry about like, oh, well, I don't have an infantry to play this spot. But in this case, you have Vinny who plays cav infantry. He's a well-rounded player. When you need him, he'll do what you need.
Exactly.
But I hope we're getting underway soon. I feel KoB's having some connection problems. I feel at this point, if Manetho's having this much problem, maybe just put another player. But
yep, and you can see Ares trying to move things along.
Ares trying to get
WK ready.
So hopefully we get this underway quickly. Oh, and well, some frustration seems coming out of KoB. But it looks like we're about to go live.
That's great. And once again, it's going to be on KoB's shoulders to say, okay, that was annoying, frustrating. We're going to have to put that behind us and really focus on what we're doing here.
Yeah, I feel like just definitely that first round was huge for WK when they just pushed right through those tunnels and got that quick win. Because that means, you're upgrading your armor quickly. They didn't have many deaths either, so that's just a quick armor upgrade. And it looks like Chewbacca is not in for Swadia. Or not Swadia, KoB, which is interesting. Chewbacca is probably the best archer on their team.
See, they got Hero on a horse. Yeah, that's always deadly. Hero's a great player, especially with Bomb Slash.
Oh, that's a TK. Aborta gets canned. That's pretty big. That's a cavalry one down. And WK is definitely capitalizing on this quickly. They've already got 4 of them down. Oh, but Hero of Hiroshima managed to take out Achilles, which is an archer down. Lagster goes down. He gets both archers, actually. Well done, but it's only John left. Not much John can do, and John goes down. Wow. So I didn't really get to see that match too much, but yeah, just fill me in. What did WK do good?
Yeah, I didn't get to see it either, but I could basically, I think once again WK was ready for the fight, and KoB didn't have the scouting. They didn't know what was about to hit them, which may be the case this round again.
I feel like KoB Cavalry are playing too safe. They're scared of the WK Cavalry, they're scared of getting picked off, but maybe they should be a bit braver and see what's going on.
Especially on these closed maps, information is key. On an open map, I can pretty much see everything that's going on. I can be on a horse or at a vantage point and see what's going on. Here, I'm relying on the relay of information that's coming from my teammates, and that's going to be the Cav.
Well, looks like the cavalry is a crossbow. He may be on. He just shoots the shot, but you see in this case right here, I feel like if the KoB cavalry was just sitting, right there in the middle where they can see up on that bridge, they could have seen the WK team was just pushing up there, And he may have not been rushed to take that crossbow shot.
Yep, you got to position yourself to where you're safe. You haven't escaped, but you can see as much as you can. Really, those choke points are where you're going to want to focus on to try and get that information flowing.
Once again, it looks like not KoB. WK will try and do a split in case the flag does spawn there. Well, it looks like they're only going to keep Willie down there. He's going to be looking down there. See, that's where it comes back to information. He's going to get the information if they do push out there. But it looks like they're going to have the flag spawn, and now him just sitting there, if he sees them coming there, he's going to tell them, they're coming from the middle, they're going to come up the stairs, and he probably will see, I think that's, or that's Garen. And it looks like KoB will be coming up straight up the middle. So what do you think of KoB's strategy on this? Do you think this will work? Do you think they'll be able to pull it off?
Yeah, they're going straight at an infantry push, so hopefully they got their their head screwed on to bang it out melee, because that's exactly what they're pushing into.
This is kind of like the opposite of what happened in the second round when WK pushed into KoB in this case, and WK came out on top. Let's see if KoB can do this. It looks like, well, he's going to go in there, but he takes a hit, and it looks like he almost may go down, but Troubadour is there to support him. Troubadour and Garen are going to fight it. Nice bump from Vinny. Hero of Hiroshima actually gets lagged, so that's pretty big. Taking out the archer early, and Can goes down though. Oodle picks him off. Troubadour gets burned. Nice job. WK, once again, getting out to the early lead. Willie goes down. Aura goes down as well. And I feel WK still getting the better of this, but it could go either way right now. PPK takes out Menethil. Menethil back in again. PPK gets another kill on Garen. Hopefully goes down. Troubadour gets him. And now it's only John left. John's...
Yeah. And that's a wrap. So what you're seeing really right here is not a lot of diversity in what KoB is trying to do. They keep going to the same corner, which it's a good corner, but it really hasn't been working out for them. They need to come up with something more dynamic. Them going back in that corner keeps putting them in these bad positions, and hopefully they've realized by now that they're not going to be able to just bang with these guys and come out with a victory. They're going to have to start using their heads.
Well, Vinny, looks like they're gonna... Are they catching out one of the KoB? Ah, they caught out Can. Can took a javelin, his horse is tagged, and Vinny has that tin horse. That tin horse is big, especially on closed maps. It just survives for so long.
It's a literal tank.
And right now, once again, KoB is just being like scared by the presence of WK. WK is a nice upgraded armor, 2 rounds, winning. They're gonna be nice and upgraded. Vinny, as we said, has that tin horse, and literally, KoB is scared right now.
They're kind of biding their time. I think they realized that was a bad place to push, which that was a really bad place to push. The archers were already off to the flanks. So I think they were going for an early push, and it didn't quite work out. So I think backing off here is a smart move for them. Really, they're going to have to figure out where to set up from here.
Well, it's either do or die. They need that one flag spawn right behind them, or else I feel they're going to be at disadvantage. They're going to have to fight WK for the flag instead of being there and defending it.
If I'm WK, I would just let them come forward a little bit and then just push them right there.
I feel that WK Cap is just ready to come in. They are. You can see Vinny back there. He's ready. WK is going to wisely just back up, and they're going to I feel like it's a bait right now. They're just pulling him into the flag, and they're going to unleash the infantry upon them.
Good sprint.
We're going to take a look at Vinny right now, and Vinny's going to be... he's actually not going to, come in yet. I feel this is a call right now, telling him to wait. And I feel as long as VK's winning the infight, they don't need to come. But Aura and Oodle are actually fighting. Garen gets the first kill right there. If PPK actually goes down, I feel now is the time Vinny has to come in. But Porta actually gets a TK. That's big. And now Troubadour gets a Porta too. And I feel that TK's literally just turned everything. Oodle goes down, but still, Can gets Troubadour. Things are even out again. I feel Vinny's in. He's getting rid of Chewbacca. That's well done. Laxor gets crew. Well done. And both WK Cav are going to go up to Chewbacca right now. Laxor gets Garen. And Vinny gets him, and that's it. WK wraps it up. But
the
man,
TK.
KoB was close to winning it. Man, KoB. Yeah, that's a shame right there. I mean, in that congested infight, that's where WK just proves that their coordination is supreme. No TKs, whereas KOA TKs. Oh, a nice little hug between Vinny and Achilles right there. That's cute.
That can kind of come down to some jitters. I tell you, KoB did a great job pushing that. They hugged the wall some. They actually flanked out and took the archer off to the side out of play. Got a couple of early kills. All of that set, KoB Cav was doing their job. They just couldn't come out with it. It just wasn't quite there in the cards.
Yeah, I feel as soon as KoB realized that Vinny is gonna wait to come in, that's when you just go put everything into that to try and get him. Because their cav is down, he's not in the fight. I mean, the tin horse is not there, so you should be free to just try and win this fight with your superior numbers.
And I think every player being a playmaker came into play there. Like you saw Lagstra with those 2 late kills. You know, so we took the infantry down. We've overcome that hurdle. We still have Lagstra covied up in this upper area that we're going to have to deal with, and he just had free reign to do what he does.
Yeah, we're going to take a quick second here though to thank our sponsors. Thanks to Marks Mods, Game Servers, Samurai, and Tail Worlds. Thanks a lot, guys. But anyways, on this map, who do you think will? I mean, now you can see it for real. You can get a nice look at it. Put your money on a team.
I hear you. Well, 1 second on those sponsors. I think it's great. It's an applaud to the people who are running the tournament and applaud to the community to have created something that has enough value to people for people to come in and sponsor that. So that is really awesome that you guys have taken this and created something with it that is worthy of other people putting money into it. So applaud yourself, I guess. I guess I'm applauding you.
You can definitely give Aries an applaud. He works really hard. All the admins who are helping with WPL, give those guys an applaud. Well done for all of you guys, making this tournament be great.
Yep.
I feel everyone's enjoying it, even us who aren't even playing, just casting it.
It's them, and it's also the people that put in the work early on and created something to where people could come in and later improve on it. So it was the early work that was put in, as well as the new innovation and creativity that's been put to the later tournaments. So it's really great. This map is Desolation Valley. It looks like I said, it's definitely open. I think once again it's going to favor WK. HBs, or pardon, the HBs in KoB I think are very versatile. Definitely potent cav that could hang with it. So I think a lot of it's going to hinge on who's going to be making the shots with the range game.
Are you familiar with the flag spawns on this map?
No.
Well, if you see those little houses down there towards the bottom of the map, that's going to be the north spawn in this case. And flag spawn's right in between those 3 rocks right there. The middle flag, so to speak, if you go just a bit out of that village, there's going to be this tree, and then these small rocks, kind of in a circle almost. That's going to be the second flag, and then the third flag will be
kind
all
of back
the way.
trees.
Yeah, where the flag already is now.
Yeah, I actually see that one. So that's pretty good. That creates some vantage points that you can move to. It looks pretty linear if you're looking to move with the move for the flags. So that'll make it to where if you do choose to put someone out on a flank or to take a side approach, that they might be late to the party if it goes down early. So I think timing is going to be pretty key if you do choose to split up. There's definitely a couple of places that you can go and that would be a benefit, but you might want to consider just kind of rolling as one group with that linear flag spawn.
Yeah, a big like, in my opinion, a big part about like being well on this map is being prepared for any flag spawn. You can't just sit in your base or your spawn and just hope that the flag, will spawn right there or it'll spawn in the closer one. You have to be like just really ready.
Yeah, you got a 1 in 3 chance, and if you got it last round, then you have less of a chance if you're just sitting there on top of your flag. The big thing is if you move someone out, you're going to have somebody to watch them. This map is going to be producing a lot of cav. You can already see them running around. So a cav crash of 2 or 3, if they don't have the proper cover or the proper infantry or cav to back up like a range unit, then that's going to be a liability. That's going to put you down in a hole pretty early.
Looks like KoB will start off on the Nords, and in my opinion, the spawn of the Nords have right now is the stronger spawn. You are closer to that side, in my opinion. There's these 3 bigger rocks just a bit out from the village, just kind of like a tree, then another tree, and it's right beside the rock. Right here is a nice position for archers and infantry to take to be safe from cav, and then both flags are relatively close. So I always feel like that's a nice position to take.
Yeah, that spawn is definitely advantageous because I have immediate cover. I can, and I don't think it's a huge deal being able to shoot from spawn to spawn. I mean, there, maps there that you can do that on. I mean, we just looked at a map to where I could, run a cav in there as they're spawning. So I don't think that's as huge a deal. But what I can do is I can sit in a safe position and react to my opponent as opposed to having to create something on the fly. So I could just cozy up right there, let them move into position, and then decide what I'm going to do from that point with that information.
What do you think both teams should run as their composition? Which team should run? Should teams run 2 cav, or not 2 cav, 2 archers, 2 inf, 3 archers, 1 inf? Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, 2 things. You're going to want to play to your strengths. So whatever the players that they're going to be putting in, whatever they're best at. And the second thing is you're just going to have to take care of what you do. So if you put an archer on the ground, you're going to have to decide whether an infantry or a cav is going to be better to back them up. On this map, I could definitely see an infantry being a very viable source to back up an archer. You got a lot of cover, and that gives the archer ability to free shoot while the infantry tangles somebody up. it kind of helps them prevent a massive cav rush. So if it's more open, 3 cav coming in, 1 infantry isn't going to do the job. That's where you need like 2 cav at least to try and protect that archer. So that'll influence their comp some. But really, I mean, the biggest thing is, you know, they're going to want to play to whatever their strength is right now.
Well, I believe they should be getting underway soon.
I was about to say, this long pause is more what I remember, so I'm feeling more at home now, guys.
Usually we get going pretty quickly, but since I think it's KoB that's having the problems with the lag and some of the players, but I mean, what you gonna do, right? This is I believe this is the first international tournament in Warband, so congratulations on that. A bit late, but still.
So, the real change that I see is you actually have admins here that are overseeing this, and
yeah, we have our freeze. We track stats. You know, official.
Yep, it's brilliant.
Oh, okay, KoB is ready. I believe WK should be ready as well. Yeah, they got their guys right there. They should be good to go. So we
once
wave very soon.
Yep. So once again, KoB is down 2 sets. It's a new map, and they're gonna have to, you know, come in with that mindset. So if they're, you know, at this point, it's easy for a team to already be beaten. So they're gonna decide whether they really want to win this match or not.
Well, KoB has to 3-0 both sets actually if they want to win this, because they did manage to win 1 on the closed map. But you know, all it takes is WK 1 set and they win it, and then. But there also is the win-loss differential. But yeah, let's hope KoB doesn't get discouraged.
It's totally possible. I've seen teams come back from, they had to win 7 and the score was 6-0 and they won 7 in a row, so it's definitely possible.
Well, it looks like Kradock actually going to go quite deep. He actually gets his horse tagged, and that's not really great with the Serenade horse. That thing goes down quickly. But it looks like Oodle is going to be playing infantry, and Achilles is taking the position inside the tower, and he's going to be trying to snipe back. I feel this is pretty good, though, because now WK is taking the advantageous position. They are close to both flag spawns. Actually, I'd say they're close to all 3 flag spawns right now. Really, wherever it spawns, they're ready. Whereas KoB seems to be stuck in their own spawn.
And that's kind of what I'm saying. So they spawn there, they're safe. They see where WK is set up. They can really choose to where they want to go. They can set up. They can set up based on what WK has done at this point. I think if they choose to just sit there, that's just kind of not being able to formulate a plan.
Looks like they will sit there though. Maybe. Yeah, I guess what you said. They're not being able to formulate a plan real quick. The flag will spawn right in the middle, so I feel this is a pretty even spot for both teams right now. But KoB is still looking a little bit shaky to go in. They're still kind of sitting behind their spawn, but they are moving in. But they're very spread out, though. I feel this could be dangerous, though. Being this spread out, one of them gets picked off. Chewbacca's all alone, kind of, in a sense. And we got PPK right behind him, and he might actually... Oh, no, he won't go for Chewbacca. Doesn't manage to get the bump lance there. Oh, doesn't manage to hit Chewbacca either, but he has instilled the fear in Chewbacca. Can manage to actually get Vinny. Well done right there.
That was a squishy Serenade horse going down pretty early.
Yeah. Vinny being among the best cab in WK, going down early is definitely not good for WK. And the fight on the flag hasn't even begun yet. But it looks like Oodle's actually gotten on the flag. And with a minute left, this could be pretty good, actually. If Oodle manages to hold out and the WK team manages to hold out, they win this, I'd say, relatively easily.
And see, this is a position that KoB could have already been in. All their archers have shields. They could have been moving around the map. They could have already taken this position and gotten 2 flags, gained that map control, as opposed to sitting in their spawn.
Oh, Oodle with a nice javelin and actually manages to dismount. Can't see who it is right now. Yeah, dismounts Can. Probably the best cap on. Calamity gets Goliath. Can's Chewbacca gets PPK though with a nice shot. Garen gets Oodle on the flag, and now actually Laxor actually gets Can. That's well done. And Bruin gets Wily, and KoB actually getting the better of this right now. I mean, I guess patience paid off right here.
It's coming down to those shots. It's really coming down to the archers.
Yeah, Chewbacca had some wonderful headshots, getting PPK and who was it out? Getting PPK and Kratok, so well done from Chewbacca right there. And the Nords take it. The KoB does it, and they get Achilles as well. Wow.
Chewbacca is just deadly, deadly. You got to watch out for that guy. I tell you, WK, and it looks like they may do it again. WK did a great job of rushing early in that round, which I think pushed KoB back, but KoB should have responded. Really, it was the range that pulled it out and got them the win there.
Yeah, I feel that the WK Archer is just a bit too far to be too effective. Laxar was in a relatively good position, but maybe Achilles should have moved up to that windmill. I always feel like that windmill is a great spot for archers.
See, Laxar was safe, but he was out of the fight. He had one guy on him, and his vantage point, he couldn't see what was going on, and wasn't able to make shots at the time that he needed to make them.
Well, I also feel taking out Vinny early was very good for KoB. Taking out him was a big bonus.
Oh, it's huge. And you throw a party if you could take Vinny out early in a round.
Well, it looks like KoB is, looks like they're being a lot more aggressive. Not as scared right now, and they want to take this early fight. Oodle is already in the open, and Oodle is surrounded. I'd say Oodle's in a bad spot right now. He has, well, actually managed to stop Hero. Oh, he actually dismounts Hero, and Achilles gets him. Oh, wow, that's the early pickoff. These are some interesting plays coming out from WK and KoB, and KoB, even though they have the superior infantry numbers right now, they're not taking advantage of it at all. Oodle is just sitting in the middle of all of them, and he's just, taking them out. And the flag spawn's back in the WK spawn, and now the superior numbers will push the WK infantry, and it looks like Oodle is surrounded, but I don't think Oodle will go down without taking out one. Vinny gets dismounted, and Vinny's down. Menethil goes down well, PPK gets him, but Vinny's down again. The first death for WK gets dismounted. Oh, Chewbacca gets Oodle as well. Right now, though, both teams just kind of fighting. Managed to get Goliath. Chewbacca goes down. That's huge. That's huge for WK. Chewbacca going down right now. He was really hot, so this is great for WK right now, I feel. Well, it looks like Crew and Garen really want to get Achilles right now. Achilles just running, though. I think he should be fine. And PPK gets another kill. Kratok gets Crew. And it's only Perun and Can left. Flea, I think, well, Can gets dismounted, killed by Laxar, and Perun just dies right there. And WK played that fantastic.
What you saw there was an improper comp. So, KoB just did not. They had too many infantry. They didn't have the mobility to fight the cab, and they should really be leveraging the hunters and the jabs. Saren horses are squishy. The hunters can take a lot of shots from either the short bow or the nomad bow, which is the only bows that Sarenids can have. So running that many infantry and trying to move like that was bad. They really need to shift that up just a little bit.
Well, we can already see WK. WK knows that the flag won't spawn right where they were, so I feel they're once again going to take a more aggressive position. And I feel this is really the time where KoB should just move over to those rocks, get that strong position, and wherever the flag spawns, you're ready for it. I mean, sitting in your spawn right now is silly.
That's really the thing. So when you have this many cav, people look at this and like, okay, how can I take a position because the cav's just going to crash? They need to bunny hop from cover to cover. So KoB just tried to cut across the field last time, and they paid the price for it. If they went to the rocks and then to the house and then to the tower, that helps minimize the risk that you're taking by moving from one position to the other. It takes a little bit longer, but you don't see that cav crash that they had last time.
Now, the KoB cavalry has grown a bit braver, and it looks like Oodle and Achilles are going to take this position to the far left. And Achilles trying to take some shots. Actually pretty close, but he won't be able to hit any. But the flag's about to spawn, and we'll see if it's KoB spawn. And yeah, KoB gets the flag spawn. This is pretty good for KoB, though. So I guess sitting in their spawn paid off, but could have been risky out of being in the other spawn. And it looks like WK will actually be aggressing very quickly. They're in quick. Oodle and Achilles are moving in, but it looks like the battle will begin. Hero throwing some javelins, but Crew gets stopped. Kratok, they managed to hit his horse actually, but those hunters are just too strong. Yeah, and Oodle managed to get crew, but Can gets Wiley. Garen stops PPK. PPK has to get off the horse. He's dismounted. Calamity gets Goliath. Vinny gets Bruin. WK coming out to an early lead again. Oodle gets Garen. And WK just coming out there early. Chewbacca's just surrounded. Chewbacca's gonna go down. Chewbacca's dead. Can's dead. Menethil's dead. There's only Hero left. And Hero's just bound to go down now.
So, what you really saw there was WK KoB doing their job early. So when the flag popped, even though it was KoB's favor, WK KoB came in, they dangled the shiny in front of them. They're like, hey, look at me. They distracted them while all of the ground forces moved in around their flanks, and that's really because KoB didn't spread out from that one position.
Yeah, the WK KoB just charged straight at him. They made him panic. Chewbacca, you saw he didn't even move like an inch from where he was initially. He just stood there.
That's right, and when you're that focused on KoB, you can't see who's coming around on your flank. And that's the whole purpose. They just came in and caused that distraction, giving the rest of the team time to set up. They weren't going for kills, they were just like, hey, look at me, while the other people are going to come and kill you.
If you take a look at lags right here, WK's being smart here. They know the flag is going to be 60% for them. They're going to get the better of this flag spawn. And you see Laxer's already taking position by the windmill. He's ready in case that flag spawns right in the middle. But it looks like KoB's actually going to move to the rocks now. They are finally trying to take the aggressive position, but I mean, they make it, but you see, I was going into, but actually, no, yeah, WK is going into, and wow, Laxer gets the headshot on Perun. That's pretty big. The infantry's dead. That's only one imp and one archer. Oh, PPK might get Chewbacca. Chewbacca's actually in a terrible position now. He's getting caught out by Kratok and PPK, and I think he's just going to go down here. Yeah, Chewbacca's just done here. And Vinny getting Garen, crew. The WK team is just cleaning up KoB. Hiroshima managed to get Oodle, but I mean, PPK gets him, and then it's just Brave left. What can Brave do? Brave actually managed to dismount Wiley, which is pretty good. I'm gonna buy another horse and let him upgrade, but yeah, well, that's it.
So KoB took the suggestion. They picked up some cav. What they didn't do was cover properly with the cav. So all the cav were over in one area, actually looking away. I saw one of KoB's cav come in, like ride past their ground troops with a WK KoB like hot on his heels and two more crashing right behind him. So there was no call there was no interception. You got to play off of it, and as their cav crashes in, that's when you come in. They were just all kind of grouped up in a ball off to the side, and that's what you get.
I don't know if you saw, but Chewbacca didn't even move from the spawn again, and Kratok and PPK just let him have it. They found him right there in the corner again, and they just killed him right there. He had no effect on the game whatsoever. But I think it just comes down to WK's just killer instinct. They know exactly when they got pushed. They know when KoB is feeling weak. They saw that KoB moved to that position like eerily. They weren't feeling too confident about it, and WK just let him have it right there.
You can really see the indecision in KoB. You know, not that it's bad, but I mean that can definitely happen in the match. But WK is taking advantage of it. WK is doing what WK does.
Yeah, it's just the strong aggression right there really put KoB on their heels.
It's not even just the aggression. It's the bait. It's the positioning. It's the having the gumption to actually move an archer out to the gumption. I was trying to think of a nice word instead of just saying balls. But to actually move to a vantage point, or rely on your cav to take an archer to a position instead of kind of just sitting in one big ball.
We saw the Lagstro's aggressive positioning paid off as he gets the early headshot on Perun there, and then Perun was already dead from the headshot. But yeah, Lagstro's aggressive positioning managed to get that early kill on the infantry, and that's good. That's big for the KoB. The KoB have one less infantry to look out for, and that just means easier kills on the archers.
And see, KoB had promise from that first round. They saw the benefit that the archers had brought to them. It really should have been focused all about the archers, getting them in positions early, as early as you can. That way you don't have to try and move them later when the KoB can really crash on them. So after that first round, they really could have strategized a little better in between rounds and got more of a spread so that the archers could have worked.
Yeah, Chewbacca after that first and second round, he kind of went silent. Yeah, I just saw him getting caught out in that corner, like right by his spawn, over and over again.
That's really what it is. You can have a awesome range player, but if you don't have the ability to give them time to shoot and to let them not worry about what's coming around behind them, then they're not going to be able to perform.
I think that's also where it comes down to WK being able to make decisions on their own, where I feel like the KoB players are kind of, leaning on the helper McCaller because, I mean, Chewbacca in that case, I mean, you'd think to at least move out, you know what I mean? Like, not just sit there if it's happened, like, over and over again. You gotta change it up, but it seems that maybe WK or KoB thought, like, they wouldn't find him or something. Like, it was just odd to see him just stand there twice in a row.
Camo Nord?
Pardon?
Camo Nord? Trying to like hide in the buildings, find a texture that kind of matches your leather armor or something. I don't know what he was doing.
I don't know. He had that blue armor. No, blue armor. He had a jerkin, but
he was trying to get high so he could like blend in with the sky.
It's interesting, but it didn't seem to work out. And I feel that it's only going to get harder for KoB from now. The javelins are great against those Serenade horses. I mean, even though the Nord archers are somewhat weak, they're still good against those Serenade horses. The Serenade horses are fast, so I guess you have to take advantage of that. But the WK cavalry is great. I think they're going to punish this.
And that's really what it is. The archers were pretty even. You get a slight advantage with the Nord because they're faster to get to mail than the Serenades are. But as far as the bows go and the damage that they're actually going to deal, it's pretty comparable. So KoB definitely had the advantage. They should have leveraged it early with the hunters as opposed to just having all those imp. So they may pay for a little more now that they got squishy horses.
Do you think it could have been maybe that first round taking out Vinny so early that gave them that just big advantage? That safety for the archers?
It definitely gives you a big advantage, but you can't set up your strategy on that. You can't say, okay, we're going to go after Vinny like every single round. That's one of those that kind of you see the opportunity and you take advantage of it. You got to have a little bit more of a plan than that when you're going into the round, and then let it develop from there.
I feel once again it's only going to get harder for KoB as well. Their spawn has less versatility in my opinion, and I think maybe just because like WK was running the 1 infantry and the 2 archers, and that was working great for them. But KoB was running 2 infantry, 2 archers, and they still weren't able to defend themselves because Oodle was just destroying them both, and the cavalry would just come in to help them. They were just coordinating very well.
Yeah, they just didn't have the mobility to deal with something that potent on the ground like Oodle. If you have Cav, you can swoop in, you can knock them down, you can kind of come around for another run. When you're infantry, you kind of have to deal with that immediately.
It looks like we should be getting going in a moment here. I believe Ares asked if they were ready. Looks like WK needs a second, I believe.
Possibly.
Yeah, KoB's ready. WK just needs a moment. They should be getting going pretty soon, and this is the final set. So, predictions. I mean, WK's already won it, but who thinks will win this last set?
With the last set, it's very easy with WK already winning it for them to slack off, and it's very easy for KoB to have all the weight off their shoulders and actually perform like they should.
Yeah, I feel maybe jitters got to them. A few like maybe positioning strategic mistakes really hurt them bad because Chewbacca was having a great game, but I mean all the KoB players were doing great. It's just I feel they lost a lot of momentum after they did that aggressive push on round 2. Where they pushed straight up into WK.
Yep.
So I feel they lost some momentum there, but the KoB players have been doing great. It's just they're not being able to, just pull it through.
Well, let's hope they can, figure something out for this last set, give a good showing. And we did promise a good match, didn't we?
Yeah, I think it's been pretty good so far, though. Maybe not the closest sets, but the rounds have not been. I mean, they've been good fights.
I'm going to go ahead and say that was you promising that, Thunder. That way I'm not held accountable for it.
Feel free.
So this is
so it
live?
looks like, yeah, it looks like WK is actually getting out to an already like aggressive start against KoB. And I feel this is their, oh look, yeah, oh this time WK is actually running 2 infantry. PPK and Troubadour will be playing inf, with Lagstro and Achilles playing the archers. Yeah, but it looks like WK is already putting the pressure on them. They've just come straight up to them, and with those javelins, they can really punish them. Yeah, especially those horses. Kratok already pulled them out. Oh, actually, looks like Kratok may be cut out. No, he should be fine. Yeah, he's fine. Chewbacca's actually going to be playing cavalry right here. Interesting. Beer? Nah, it won't be. But right now, WK already with the aggressive start, and you can see Troubadour and Achilles have gone in quite far. They're practically in their spawn, and they've literally almost forced out KoB out of their own spawn. Yeah, you don't see many KoBs left in their spawn.
Well, I think the spawn kind of forces them out of their spawn. Like, you have to move if you're going to be viable in the realm.
Yeah, on the map, but it seems like KoB loves to just stick in their spawn though.
It's really kind of lacking that plan. WK is doing what KoB should have done. You can see them back there, they're skirmishing. They're all over the map with their cav and the jazz. They're allowing their infantry to pretty much move wherever they want to because KoB is so focused on the 1 or 2 cav that's behind them. That's really not in any real danger.
Yeah, you can also see though, they forced the KoB infantry so far back that it's going to take even longer than it would usually take for them to get to the flag. So even if WK has to trek all the way back to the flag, they're still making KoB take a long-ass journey. Yeah, WK got that great aggressive start. And Brave actually gets Kratok first kill. That's well done. Brave is a great cav, especially when it comes to couching. Absolutely. Oh, Beer gets dismounted and Beer goes down as well. So that's 2 early kills for KoB. But I mean, WK's already raising that flag, and none of the KoBs are actually going there to stop it. And here comes the WK cav support. Vinny's still up, so a good cav there, and then you know, of course, Lagstro and Achilles will defend that flag from the cav. But yeah, KoB once again. I mean, they should be moving on to this flag. That flag's nearly up. It's above half. And I mean, sending Perun, I mean, you have to send someone in, but why send him alone? He's just bound to die against PPK and Troubadour. This is more of like a death sentence than a try and stop him. Oh, but he actually will catch out the archers because PPK did not have his axe out. Oh, but Menethil will get PK's cannon. That's pretty big. Oh, but Perun actually managed to get Lagstro. No one really paying like attention to him. And Troubadour gets Brave though. While he goes down, Chewbacca gets him. Perun holding his own on the flag, but Troubadour's going to come behind him and he goes down. But that flag actually, KoB's on it. That's a 3v3 right now. Oh, and PPK goes down, and now the advantage is for KoB. It's a 3v2. It's only Vinny and Troubadour left. Troubadour goes down. Menethil gets him. It's only Vinny left. Oh, and Vinny's going to dismount. What can you do? Oh, but they win. The timer, the flag. Oh, well played from WK there. Getting on that flag, and the late reaction from KoB.
Wow. That was actually a really tense round. And you know, Purin did his job. He was just the distraction. He was the foothold that KoB needed to try and get in there. Their cav was a little late coming in on that, and I definitely think that hurt him. And yeah, that was really more just meta play right there with Vinny dismounting on the flag.
It was interesting though to see that PPK just kind of, you know, forgot about him. Oh my, Kratok gets the early couch on Can. That's big. They're already down a cav, and now they're just going to run amok on this KoB team. They're down 1. They know they're weak. They're just going to try and take advantage of it.
And KoB was trying to flank with their cav. It just didn't work because WK had already moved. They had already got to the position they needed to. There was no distraction. There was nothing to stop them. You know, look at this. WK owns this whole map right now. You can
see how he's already running amok on the infantry and the archers with the support from Vinny there. But actually, he's going to take 2 hits. Rurin doing a great job against PPK right now. And the cav is supporting very well. He's actually forced to back out, but he's still distracting all these. Oh, but PPK goes down. Brave managed to get him. Oh, but that's a K on John. Kratok managed to get Menethil. I believe that's both archers already down. Vinny goes down. Rurin doing a great job this game. Aside from that TK. But it's PPK and Vinny down for WK, and there's John, Menethil, and Can down for KoB. And the flag spawn is right there, so this is, I feel this is advantageous for WK right now. They're the ones with the advantage in the spawn right now. They're the ones fighting better. Kradark actually gets dismounted, and Perun actually might be able to just capitalize on this. Yeah. And Hero actually gets Troubadours, so WK is now 4. They're forced to fight against 5 from KoB, but Beer is going down. It's a 3v5 now. Maybe WK went too far in this. Achilles going to keep trying to take some shots, but there's really not much he can do. I mean, yeah, Brave's going to start chasing after him. I mean, KoB's got to get someone on the flag at least. Brave actually takes a shot.
And this is a little bit of WK relaxing, just a little bit.
Wiley managed to get Chewbacca. It's a 4v3. Oh, Brave this. Oh, but they both missed that shot. Was on the ground, but still no one on the flag. WK could still win this. Achilles gets screwed with a 3v3, and there's still no one on the flag. Hero goes down. Laxer goes down. Oh, but Brave gets Achilles. Lack of awareness there. Got him. You know, I feel like he just go on the flag, raise it a bit, and just, you know, oh, he doesn't actually have a shield. Oh, he gets dismounted. Well done. Looks like Brave's going to get him here. So well done by KoB.
Nice. I mean, definitely well played by KoB. You can see WK overextended. They had the whole map, but they definitely pushed him back to a defensible position. It was nice to see that KoB could, push back from that.
Yeah, nice, well thought out round. I mean, it looked like WK was about to get the better of them, but KoB managed. I mean, Brady snuck up on Achilles. Achilles was seemed to be dozing off a little right there.
Well, I mean, that was really kind of just pure guts, okay, we got to win a round. And that was also WK, like I said, kind of relaxing on their strategy and what they're doing, allowing more creativity, which can be dangerous, as you definitely saw.
I mean, PPK delved dangerously deep into the KoB spawn, and he was fighting 3 of them, and he went down for it, and he actually didn't even, I don't think he managed to hit any of them, so that was kind of just a wasted life, but let's see what they do here. Once again, KoB's forced to move back into possibly the worst position on this map. They are so far back.
Achilles getting a foot shot on John there, going for another one.
Man, the WK cab is just... Oh, but Harley goes down early. Maybe... Yeah, that's... Kratok goes down. Laxer goes down. KoB early advantage here. 3 dead already. Oh, and Vinny loses his shield, barely surviving there. He was about to get couched. PPK manages to get Menethil. I mean, it's obviously not over yet, but Vinny, nice job dismounting. Troubadour's going to pick up that kill. Should pick it up. PPK goes down. Chewbacca, well done, actually. Doing great on Cav. Hero goes down. I mean, 4 down for WK, 2 down for KoB. I feel WK can still pull this off.
They can. You definitely saw a basic team fault there where Menethil
nice dismount.
Chased PPK back into the ruin when he had infantry and 2 cav coming in. If he would have pulled him out or not chased, he wouldn't have went down right there.
Right now, it looks like they're a bit of standstill, and looks like KoB will try and make, the faster move to the flag, and they already are. Perun and, yeah, all the infantry are moving out. That's 3 inf and 1 archer, I believe? Or was, yeah, Menethil was an archer, I believe. Less cavalry from KoB and a lot more inf. Maybe it's paying off for them.
Well, I think they're finally using the cover to their advantage.
Well, Achilles, nice shot on Kant.
Yeah, Cam was kind of
Achilles has another shot on group. Brave managed to get Troubadour, so it's only 3 of them now. Then he gets dismounted. Achilles goes down, Beer goes down. It's only Vinny. He's on the ground now. Not much he can do, really. I mean, we can get a kill or something like that. But, oh, he actually managed to get a horse, and maybe he can escape with this. Oh, but Vinny gets dismounted. This course is fast. It looks like Brave and Chewbacca should be able to get him, but John gets the shot. So well done from KoB there. They played it well.